Hey y'all, I want to welcome y'all to a special edition of the War Zone. Um, we know we got some issues down in Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm in town and I was able to connect with a good dude. He like family to me. And when I got the call, automatically I was gonna come. I see my man Chris Bernard is in the building. What's going on, big dog?
What's up, man? What's up?
Oh, nothing much, man.
Uh-huh.
I know everybody trying to figure out who I'm working with in Lafayette, who I'm connected to. Um, I've been directly, talking to you about the concerns of what went on with
Fact.
Trey and being killed by the law enforcement. You got the screen right now, man. Everybody in the country watching this. So let these folk know how you feel, Chris.
Okay. First of all, I wouldn't say that I had an issue with Josh Guillory. Okay, I'm gonna put his name first because he automatically put himself in this situation by not I repeat, by not acknowledging family of Trayford Pellerin or calling Trayford an individual on a letter that he put out to the community. So here it is. I automatically went into protect mode because bottom line, that's like my family, man. I grew up with his dad. So here it is. I'm saying, well, wait, hold on. Maybe he made a mistake or something. So I just wanted to put Josh Guillory first for a little while. That way they can understand that it's really not about Josh Guillory. He put himself in that fire. He did that. Because it's really not about Josh Guillory. It's about getting justice for Trayford and his family.
The level I consider of disrespect, I've been all around the country. I've dealt with different, government, governmental entities dealing with different issues, sort of like this. And most of the mayors that I've encountered have directly called the affected family, gave them their condolences. Was this ever done with the mayor of Lafayette, Louisiana?
No, no, it wasn't done. He secretary to call him. He gave his condolences to the men that wear the blue uniform. He didn't say this was his first one. Now let me go back. This is even after he just recently tried to close down the centers, apologize. Okay, well, he might have made a mistake. He comes right back and does this with disrespecting Trayford and the Pellerin family. It's no way possible. It's no way possible that you can do something, apologize to the black community, and come right back and do something worse and try
Well,
to
that's
apologize.
that
And,
sounds like some Joe Biden shit there, man.
hey, look, listen, look. Now, this is what I say. He needs to be recalled. 100% he needs to be. And his little puppet, Carlos Harvin.
What exactly is the job description that Carlos Harvin is supposed to do? Because Black America is watching this. So, what is Carlos Harvin in the city of Lafayette? Is he the Negro overseer?
He is the Negro overseer. Let me tell you how he got that job. Okay, it was Carly, a awesome woman named Carly, and Josh Guillory running against each other for the city parish president position. They're running against each other. All of a sudden, here come Carlos Harvin to put his name in the hat. So it's all three of them. Carlos Harvin backs out and endorses Josh Guillory. So what that does, all the black votes that Carly had is gonna go with Carlos Harvin because they were gonna vote for him. So once he does that, Josh Guillory wins. Josh Guillory creates a position for him. Listen, I didn't say hired him. Creates a position for him.
With child tax money.
With our tax money. And within 6 months, get $1,000 raise. So
in 6 months, he gets a $10,000 raise.
Yes.
But go ahead.
We were gonna close. They were gonna close the centers because they said we was broke. We couldn't afford it. How you give a $10,000 raise when we can't afford to keep the centers closed open? I mean.
But could they keep? Do you have centers on the white side of town?
Yes, we do. We wasn't closing none of the centers.
Did they close any of those?
No, it was two rec centers on the north side of town and really 2 buildings. So on the south side of town, he ain't closed nothing.
So basically, he's taking the resources from the poor community, but he hasn't touched the resources in the affluent communities.
Facts.
Okay. Now, when all this was going on, you know, after Trey was murdered, which I feel that Trey was murdered, and I hear that Josh is actually an attorney. And I would ask the question that if that was 4 black guys that murdered Trey, would they have gone to jail the same night?
That same night, definitely.
So where I'm confused that if the 4 black guys would have went to jail, then why is it that the cops can't go because of what they've done?
Exactly. Look, not to mention, they have a dog on the scene. Gary, not in the truck, no. The cop is holding the dog, and the dog is on the scene out of the truck while Trey is walking to get by the stove.
So I want you, because, you know, they're going to try to assassinate Trey's character. I've seen them try to do that already. What type of guy was Trey?
Humble guy. To my knowledge, he hadn't gotten in no trouble since 2013. Okay. So basically, not a bad guy. Okay, Gary. Let me put it this way, Gary. I have a constructive cocaine. I have an aggravated armed robbery. I have a disarmament of firearm in a public place. I have a possession with intent to distribute. Gary, my record is 10 times worse than Trey. And Gary, for the last 15 years, I've been helping the community. So Gary, does my record define me?
I think when they do character assassination, they tried the same thing with George Floyd. And they tried it with Breonna Taylor. Everybody that's been murdered, they do character assassination. My question would be, was what law was Trey violating the night that he was murdered? His past did not come into play that night to me because he wasn't doing any of the things that was in his past. And when you go to jail and you serve your time according to the way they do it, you paid your debt to society. So, you know, my question would be is, if me and you murdered somebody, the body cam would be released by now.
Exactly.
It would be out there.
Exactly.
But when the cops murder somebody, they hold the body cam.
The body cam.
I'm gonna ask you, as a taxpayer, how do you feel knowing that if a regular Joe Blow commits a crime, the DA is all on top of it. But when the cops commit murder, they got to send it to the state police. So what the hell you got a DA for? Don't recall just Josh. Recall the DA too.
Look, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, Gary. I feel disrespected. I'm being totally honest with you, and they know me for calming the community down, making sure everything is right. But here it is, Gary. When you in my face, disrespect my people, and I let you disrespect my people in my face, I'm just as worse as that cop that pulled that trigger, Gary.
No questions.
So it's no way possible. Look, Gary, and I mean this, Gary. They don't need to call my phone or none of that. When we meet, it need to be me, you, and our other people. You know who I'm talking about, Gary.
Exactly.
And they need to go live on national TV and reveal everything and tell the community what they're gonna give us. Because
that's respectable.
I'm tired of all of this backroom stuff where stuff gets spread and is not right. No, it's not right. And we had got some news that there was a rumor that they had released the body to the family. They had saw Trey. Trey have not been released to the family, and they have not seen it. The state police have not been in touch with the mother or the father or the aunt. Lafayette police have not been in touch with them. Nobody has been in touch with them, Gary. And look, I just talked to the aunt. Look. Let me tell Lafayette how deep this gonna get. I just talked to the aunt. And I'm here, and I'm speaking straight from the aunt, which is like a little sister to me. So this ain't no rumor or none of that, Gary. And look, they said that they really appreciate what you're doing, Gary.
Tell them, and you know what's so crazy, y'all? I've yet to meet the family, but this the crazy part, Chris. I'm in Opelousas talking to one of my cousins, and they telling me on the family tree that Trey kin us. And I'm like, what?
I caught chills, Gary.
Yeah. I'm like, so you know, when it comes to my family, I ain't playing no games.
Exactly.
I'm not playing the games, period. So I don't want to talk to the Negro pastors. I don't want to talk to the NAACP. All these people bought and paid for. I don't want to deal with them. I like working with you grassroots guys because your heart is in the right place. Now, this morning, and you tell me you gotta say it in front of the world. If you want it, you want it. It's by the cop. I talked to my man Grandmaster Jay from the NFAC, not fucking around coalition. I got confirmation this afternoon that the NFAC is coming to Lafayette to stand with you grassroots guys. They're coming to support. If you want that, that's there.
Do it. 100%, Gary. I'm with it. Let's do it.
Okay. That's what it is. I mean, and I think since I came, you know, they're gonna try to paint me as an outsider. I'm really not an outsider. I paid taxes in this parish forever. So my thing is that it's time to have some tough conversations. And I gave them $48. They're gonna have these conversations. Because if not, we call, and if I miss a few, you got to fill them in for me. I'm calling out Sunset. I'm calling out Rain. I'm calling out Church Point. I'm calling out Lake Charles. I'm calling out Jennings. I'm calling out Baton Rouge, St. Martinville, Abbeville, everywhere, New Orleans. When the day comes, I need black people to stand up.
You call them all out.
Your dress code is simple, all black. If you're legal to carry, put your AR on your hip, strap it around your neck, And we gonna get some respect. You gonna put some respect on Trey's name.
Facts. Because look, that is something that they are definitely not doing. Something that they're definitely not doing. Look, Gary, I want to give a shout out to a lot of the lawyers that called me last night and to help Tyra, the community to help Tyra, Cupid to help Tyra. We now have money. Now, this is the thing, Gary. This is the thing. We have money for the ones that's doing the peaceful protests. That's good. We can get them out of jail. The looters that want to come and just do whatever they want and not respect what we asking, hey, that's on them.
You're on your own.
If you're looting and all of that and you're doing whatever you want to do, you're on your own. You're on your own. This is what I know though, Gary. It's time that we take a stand out here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we look, Gary, we shouldn't be fighting the same fight that Martin Luther King fought already for us, Gary.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why we fighting that same fight, brother. Just let me get it out. The enemy is not who we think it is. The enemy is them black folk that's working with the system to oppress us. The enemy is the crooked pastors. The enemy is the NAACPs. Because if the NAACP ain't stood up for black education in Lafayette, Louisiana in the last 3-4 years, then I don't need to hear from them right now. These are the people that have us still stuck in segregation. And this is the reason that the white folks that's treating us like garbage right now, the reason that they doing it is because these house Negroes keep running to our neighborhoods, acting like they working with us, and the whole time they working against us.
The whole time. The whole time.
Now, since I've been here, I've not come in a threatening mode. I've come in a peaceful mode. I've come in a mode that we need to work with people. We need to work and have a conversation with people. They've ignored you guys long enough. They will not ignore me, not one more day.
You heard what Josh said about us, huh? He ain't talking to us.
That's what he said?
Yeah. Look, they asked him, so would you meet with some of the community leaders that's organizing these protests? He said no.
You know, the last time somebody told me that, and I had somebody tell me that one time, I'll never meet with you. And the night we met, I'm sitting across the table from him, and I say, what it feel like when you got to meet with me? Josh, this is not an option. This is not an option. Between me and you, Chris, and the whole world that's watching, I was in Minnesota the first 12 days after George died. I watched these people burn this place to the ground because nobody wanted to listen at first. But by the time they started listening and you could slow it down and things got done, it was too late. The whole community was affected. Josh don't have to do nothing. Let me tell you something. When you have that attitude with people that are trying to be peaceful, see, because in this world, you got two sets of black African, you got two sets of black people. You got African Americans to me, and you got niggas. And on the other side, you got some good white people, and you got some crackers. So, Josh, if you want to act like a cracker, we're going to treat you like one. You not finna disrespect the black community not one more day, bro.
I'm with that.
And if you do, then, do what you do, homie. But the thing is, what's so bad with having a conversation? Why can't this white man that is in control of the government in Lafayette Parish pick up the phone and call Trey's mom like he would do if it was a white boy on the ground?
Simple. And look, the cold-blooded part, Gary, man, we just want to be treated equal, man.
We made some mistakes in the past, brother. You know, it's great nowadays that some of us can get along. I get along with all ethnicities. I got white friends, black friends, and I always tell
me
people.
Me myself.
I always tell people when they say, "Oh, I got 5 black friends." If you can count a motherfucker, you a racist. I can't even count how many black, Asians, and Latino partners I got. You know, business, personal, whatever. You know, but in this world that we live in, there are some people still stuck in the mind frame of the old days. The problem with the mind frame of the old days is clearly understanding these youngsters nowadays. These youngsters nowadays are the greatest generation that has ever been made. And they have an attribute in them that me and you don't have. They feel this. They ain't scared of shit. The worst nightmare for America is if the youngsters ever organize themselves, because you can't handle them when they organize themselves. Now, do people want a race war? No, I tell people that all the time. You don't really want no race war. I just left gun training in St. Louis a week and a half ago. Man, we playing with some big toys, man. You don't want no race war. You don't want no race war. Read the paper today. Black people are buying guns at an alarming rate. You don't want no race war. We don't even need to have one. We have interracial dating nowadays. People getting along. You get to screw who you want. You know, we got our babies coming out of all different colors. I love them no matter what they come out as. They can be totally white, totally black. I don't care. But some of these people have deep-rooted hatred.
Facts.
And that's what's showing up right now.
Facts.
Mr. Mayor, you can't pick the phone up and call the family. You know why? You ain't got to say it, Chris, but I'll say it for you. Mr. Mayor,
racist.
Josh Guillory, you a pussy. And that's what it is, partner. And any one of y'all mad about that because I called him a pussy? You want to be mad about it? It ain't a threat. He's a pussy. And you a big dry pussy.
Racist to the bone.
Now look, you gotta take this a step further, Chris, because I'm here to help you organize and get it in order. What we need to do is stop spending our black dollars with they racist white asses. Take our money to a black-owned business. If you want to buy some goddamn gas, make sure you drive down 90 till you get in St. Landry Parish, so Lafayette Parish can't get no tax money up at you. Take our black dollars out of their goddamn economy, and then they'll respect us.
Well, you see, that's what I know. Being that you here now, we're gonna get a few things in order, and we're gonna organize it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna organize it, and we're gonna get everything together. And like you said, when we organize,
game over.
Don't like that.
I want to say this here. I want to say this here that there are some African American city council members that's gonna reach out to me, and I applaud them. So you know, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm serious with y'all. The Montgomery bus boycotts lasted 381 days. That means they didn't spend any money on transportation. Stop spending your money. When we call it, stop spending your money with people. And then they will respect you.
Facts.
And for all of y'all that's on the Tom shit, stay in the house with your scare ass. We ain't got time to play with you, partner.
Hey, you know what they call it?
Kissing up to them, keep kissing their ass. But we ain't finna play the game no motherfucking more.
You know what? You know what Josh Guillory called us? He called us some terrorists.
He called us terrorists.
Trying to build a case.
Terrorists.
Yeah.
You know what, man? Let me say this here. Josh Gilroy is the lowest form of a racist that you could ever find. You call the kids terrorists because they looting. Well, can I ask you a question, Josh? Because we're reactionary. They reacted to something. So are you sure they're the terrorists? Or is it the ones that gunned Trey down before he even crossed the threshold of the door of the store? Are we the terrorists, the ones that's looting? Or is it the ones who shot a man and they lying saying he had a knife in his hand when it was a cell phone? Are we the terrorists because they looting? Because you had more than enough time to tackle him with all the money that this parish spends on training for police officers. Are we the fucking terrorists?
We bought the guns they kill him with.
No, we're not terrorists, Josh. I can tell you what we really are. We some fed up black motherfuckers. That's what we are.
Facts.
We sick. We tired. We sick in Oakland. We sick in LA. We sick in Houston, Minneapolis, Chicago. Look at the news. You see it every day. Motherfuckers is tired of you racist motherfuckers wanting to run the United States of America when all you've ever done is fuck it up. When you had total control of America, you couldn't even make the necessary decisions to keep us in chains. You nothing but a bunch of fuck ups, and you don't get it. See, I get to say what a lot of people can't say. I get to speak my mind, man, because I'm self-made. I don't punch a clock. What we need to be teaching our kids is entrepreneurship.
Facts.
So that you don't have to work for these motherfuckers, man.
Facts.
That's what we need. And the thing is, this fight that we are in, if people wake up and they see and they understand this is not a black or white fight anymore. This is a poor fight. That's why white people can hang out with us right now. And they shit on them too. Because they poor. But all the poor people need to get together and say the hell with it. Now they're going to take everything I just said as a threat. I didn't threaten you. I'm educating your ignorant ass. And people are tired of the bullshit where you don't feel like you have to justify a shooting. You don't have to. But yet a woman barbecues in front of your house and you feel threatened? You a bitch. How threatened can you be when all the motherfucker had was a spatula to turn the fucking burgers over with? You a bitch.
You sure is right, man. You sure is, you can still hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Yeah, man. This is I could barely hear you, Gary. But
Okay.
man, this is a messed up situation, you know. And I'm not on no racist stuff, Gary. But when you put that letter out, Gary, when you know when you put that letter out, Gary, that brought me to a different place, Gary.
Let me tell you what he did with the letter, and I've never seen it.
Wait, I can't even hear you, Gary. Let me see.
Can you hear me? Hold on, y'all. Chris getting his volume together. Can you hear me?
I see the mic. I see the cam.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
No, I can't hear you. It's like it's muted.
Is Tara by you? I can't hear you. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Chris, let me try this here. I kicked him out. He'll come back. Let me tell you what he did with that letter. It's something I teach people every day. And I always tell people that a motherfucker will call you a nigga without ever calling you a nigga. They use fancy words and rhetoric to get their points across. Now, do I think that Josh Guillory is a racist? Yeah, with everything in my power. Do I think that city government is corrupt in Lafayette, Louisiana? Yeah, with everything in my power. Do you, Mr. Monroe, condone violent protests? I've done thousands of protests, and never once has one of my protests ever became violent. Because we don't have to use violence. We don't have to throw no bricks. We need to have some conversations. You feel what I'm saying? We have to have some conversations. And we have to go in a room and we have to sit down like men and we have to curse each other out. But we got to get to the bottom line. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, there we go.
All right, Chris is stepping away because it is his wife's birthday.
I got it. You fill in for him. So y'all know Tara. I mean, the most famous barbecuer in the country right now. And my man want to send her to jail. My sister in the struggle want to send her to jail because she was barbecuing. But what I was talking about is having conversations with these government entities to get to some common ground. You know, and I want Josh to understand something. You may feel that you are the mayor president of, Lafayette Parish, but I'm a goddamn king, homeboy. I was born a king.
Yeah, I believe he's let his title get to his head too much. Well, you know what I'm saying? He got that chip on his shoulder, and it's hurting my community at the same time.
Well, you got
and we're not gonna stand for it.
You got a good brother named Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC that's coming to town to stand with y'all. And it's what it is at that point. You know, because this shit gonna stop. This shit is gonna stop. And it's gonna stop today. If you're gonna represent Lafayette Parish or any city in America, you're gonna represent everybody in them cities. You're not gonna just forget about the poor people on the north side of Lafayette. You're not just, and see, this is why we need to have our own funding. Because we need to quit waiting for these people to give us money. Because whenever they feel like it, they can shut our shit down.
Jerry, I found in less than 2 hours in that budget, almost $600,000 of wasted money. They fired 138 employees, even though the budget for their pay was supposed to end in October. 138 families have been affected. 37 of them was park and recreation. Okay. Majority of them Black, low income.
Let me ask you this. If we're getting rid of positions, then how does he create a position for Carlos?
Wait, how does he create two positions of over $131,000 apiece to help him do his job? He has 2 separate assistants to help him do his job. That's over $260,000. But you tried to close 4 of our recreational centers all in the same district. The 4 rec centers that Josh Guillory was trying to close, the 4 of them cost under $45,000 a year to run. They have one that he kept open in majority white upper class neighborhoods that cost about $83,000 to run. So why you targeted 4 on our side in one district to close? We had to fight for that for over 3 months. And the parish part of our council gave us $200,000 to cover us for the next year.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna have some discussions because our kids need exactly what the other kids. And let me tell you what I don't do. I don't fault the white kids on the other side of town. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Right.
they just kids. But I fault the decision makers. You think black kids don't deserve new basketball goals? You think black kids don't deserve swimming pools?
How about the mentorship programs and the after school tutoring? Because in District 5, we have lower graded or lower average schools, like CDF rated schools.
How many charter schools you got in town?
We have two. We have two charter schools, but all our schools here, well, a lot of them between elementary, middle, and high school are schools of choice. And there's a lottery system.
Fill y'all
Like,
in. Every one of y'all that's listening, just listen to me. How do you expect children, let me finish, Tara, to learn when you're educating them under Jim Crow laws? Hold on a second. What the hell is he talking about? When Thurgood Marshall decided to file a brief for Brown versus the Board of Education, before he filed that brief, he studied a case. It was Mendez versus Ecuador County in California. That's how he got the idea to file Brown versus the Board of Education. Now, once they won Brown versus the Board of Education, let me tell you what they created. Because they didn't want the white kids to go to school with black kids. There's two things that they created that still exist till this day. School choice and magnet schools. Hold on a second, man. Yeah, they created school choice and magnet schools to circumvent Brown versus the Board of Education. So that's why school choice has every fucking thing. Magnet schools have every fucking thing because it's set up for them to have it. And the only mentoring that they want to give an African American kid or a poor kid in general is the mentoring that they can give them when they go to Angola. This is why they identify children in the 3rd grade for prison beds. They do it every single day. So if I was y'all, I'd tell them, fuck them, and I would homeschool my kids because they only making money off your poor kids in these underperforming schools. I'm sorry, I had to say that.
no, you're absolutely correct. I mean, we do have school of choice here and magnet academies. And the way that they do it here is that you have to fill out the application, and then your child goes into a lottery, and you have to hope for the best. And I speak
But
as a parent of a 16-year-old, extremely high-performing young black girl. I've kept my fingers crossed that her name got pulled in that lottery to go to ECA, to be able to have an associate's degree. I shouldn't have to do that.
Sarah, your fight is bigger, baby. You don't need to send her to that school. You need to fight these bastards to give your child a quality education where your tax money is going. This is what I did to him in the city of Houston. Now,
Well, currently, right now, my daughter goes to a school to where she gets a free associate's degree before she even graduates high school. So for me, being a low-income single mom, it's a gift to me, Jerry. Like, I'm sorry, it's a gift to me. And then at the same time, though, sitting her there, she doesn't have to worry about the teachers giving up on a child because of their skin color. And she's high performing. She's a straight A student. But she also doesn't have to deal with the distractions of other children who misbehave that also hurts her educational process. I understand what you're saying, but parents also have to be accountable.
Let me explain this to you.
For some behaviors.
It's a fight worth fighting. I'm in the state of Texas. When I showed up on the scene 8 years ago, there were 6 historically black high schools left in the state of Texas. And one of them was the school that I went to, George Floyd went to, Jackie A. Senior High School. It was a failing high school. It was F-rated. And when I got in this game, let me tell all y'all what I did. And those that's in Houston know I'm not lying. I said, you know what? My tax money is spent here. You're going to give my child the same education that they would get if I would bust them on the other side of town. So let's flip it 8 years. When I say the school was failing, let me tell you what's going on with the school now. It's been rebuilt, a brand new goddamn school, and it has a World IB program in it. You give my kids the same shit that you give them on the other side of town, and we'll kick your ass in the classroom the same way we kick your ass on the field. You parents have to stand up and demand that they give these children the same education on your side of town. They take your tax money regardless. Why are you begging for something that you already paid for? See, that's the fight that we gotta fight. And I'm an education advocate. So if y'all want the OD for that, God damn it, let's lace it up.
I totally agree with you, but I'm going to also state this. There are a lot of parents here that truly don't state or don't use their voice. They don't attend the school board meetings. They don't attend city council or parish council meetings. They don't use their voice. And whenever your school board or your council members see the same faces fighting for the community, but the community doesn't stand behind them and fights alongside of the leaders and those voices, they don't take us seriously. And that's what we're trying to do with reaching our community and getting them to understand we need your voices. We need those bodies to show up. We'll speak, but y'all have to be present. Y'all have to show your concern. You have to show your interest. And that's a problem that we have that's deep rooted in Lafayette Parish. They don't show up.
Let me show you something, all right? Hold on a second. We're gonna do it like this here. Okay, we're gonna open it up. All right. Hold on a second. Let me get up out of here. Hold on a second. Let me share this screen with you. Y'all hold on. I'm gonna show you how you handle it. Let's share this screen. And now we want to open it up. Okay. So this is how you get education for your children. Hold on a second. Let me go back. Let's close this down. Uh, okay. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Hold on a second. I gotta let you see it. Hold on. The root. Hold on just a second, because I want to show you how you ain't got to keep putting up with this foolishness, man. You don't have to keep putting up with this foolishness. Hold on, and I'll show you what I mean. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to find the video. It doesn't matter at this point. The thing is I went to the school board meeting and everything was money driven the way I felt. So I threw money at them like I was at the strip club. And one of them asked me, why you throw money at us like that? I say, because I'm an old strip club veteran. I throw money at hoes.
Oh,
That's what I do.
Power move.
I mean, the bottom line is you're going to have to fight with everything in your power to get what them kids need. And it is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? But you don't have to be taking your child out of your neighborhood where your tax money clearly goes to send them to another school to get a quality education. And those that don't get it, the reason that the school is failing is because they want it to fail. The reason that these people have these state mandated tests, the tests are only designed to close the schools down. That's what the tests are for. So I'm not cool. I'm not cool with kids taking them tests. And this is the crazy part. I went back to college 2 years ago. I'm on the dean's list. I major in criminal justice. And I'm walking circles around a 2019 graduate with a 1986 diploma. How am I doing that when they get 21st century learning? Because you ain't teaching them a damn thing in the 21st century. They teach them what they want them to know.
They teaching them that bullshit Common Core here in Louisiana.
Bottom line, the NFAC is coming to Lafayette, Louisiana. The things that they do here, if y'all want to organize, I'll show you how to fight city government. I'll show you how to fight the school system. And it is what it is. Because it's something that y'all got that you don't even know you got.
And we are willing to learn.
In those poor schools, you are getting federal money. Have you ever noticed in the poor schools, they push them lunch applications on you? They want you to fill out the free lunch application.
They actually do that in all the schools.
But you know why they doing it?
Why?
Because it's federal money tied to it.
Okay.
If you hit the threshold of at least 72% of your kids being economically disadvantaged in your school, then guess what? Your school gets hundreds of thousands of extra dollars that you don't even know about. You feel what I'm saying? See, the worst nightmare is somebody pissing me off and not being able to understand that I know everything that these people don't know. It's called Title I funding. And I guarantee you that every last one of these black schools that they messing over, they still in the Title I funding. Your school should not want to hurt for nothing. Because did you know that if your school gets Title I funding, do y'all have to wear uniforms out here?
Yes,
okay,
all of them, except for my daughter's school.
But if your school gets Title I funding, you don't have to buy a uniform if you can't afford one. And ain't a goddamn thing they can do about it. If your school gets Title I funding, you don't have to go and get food supplies in August because they need the supply. That's why they get the federal money. But I bet they ain't telling y'all that.
Not at all.
Fuck with me, Lafayette Parish. I will bankrupt this bitch. I know what they do.
Wow.
All you gotta do, Majonica Taylor, is go find out if your school gets Title I funding. And if once you find out if your school gets Title I funding, inbox me and I'm gonna give you the goddamn, I'm gonna give you the goddamn little thing, the wick. You know the wick on the fireworks?
Yeah.
If your school got Title I funding, I'm gonna give you the wick to blow that motherfucker up. Because they stealing the money.
You know how much that would benefit our very low poverty stricken single mothers that are struggling to buy uniforms and school supplies. I was not informed about that. I am a low income parent. I just have one child who can wear regular school clothes now because of the camp that she goes to.
One of those failing schools?
I need you to educate me so I can help my community.
Do any one of your children go to one of those failing schools?
Only have one left in school.
Well,
she goes to a high performing school.
If anybody's child is going to a failing school and they meet the threshold of having at least 72% of their kids being classified as economically disadvantaged, they do it through the form of the lunch applications, the free lunch applications. So if 72% of the kids in the school get free lunch, your school gets Title I funding. And the last time I dealt with this shit was in Missouri City, Texas, because they were beating Marshall High School by $800,000 a year. And they couldn't justify the $800,000. So I'm telling you what's going on in Lafayette Parish, and all this because you motherfuckers don't want to have a sit down. Man, I would dig off in the old fucking business and have you down this motherfucker shaking like you got Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been robbing these kids around here. And that's why it was so important when Katrina happened that they were looking for something to push this charter game on y'all. This charter school shit across Louisiana. But you needed something to happen of a catastrophic state, and they got it with Katrina. And that's the reason they turned all them schools into charter schools, because it ain't no oversight over the fucking money. And every time you look up, a charter school is in the fucking news for misappropriation of funds because nobody watches them. And the crazy part about it, the same way they can put money into a fucking charter school, which is your tax money. Charter schools are funded with your tax money. So you will build a charter school, but you won't fix the school in my neighborhood with the same money I'm paying. Bullshit in Houston. We're going to fix all these black schools. And I will tell you, Tara, by the time I was done, they rebuilt every black high school in the city of Houston.
I look forward, honestly. I look forward
now,
with you teaching me and learning.
Let me
I want to help my community.
The Southside High School, is that a new school?
Brand new, multi-million-dollar high school, 9th through 11th grade with a coffee bar.
Now, here's the thing. In that school, do they get a lot of kids transferring from the poor high school?
Yes.
Okay, now stop right there. Now all y'all riding with me, listen to this here. So all the poor kids are going over to the Southside High School. That motherfucker getting Title I funded because they all on free lunch. So they giving them the money they supposed to give them and then doubling it up with the Title I funding. You sure you want to fuck with me? I had a whole parish hating you by the time I get through.
Fair is fair.
They ain't ready for me yet. The best education that any of you parents out there can give your child is to homeschool your child. And they can get their associate's degree, they get all that same shit. These people are only using your children to make money off of them. I'm gonna tell you the game. So what I ain't gonna do, I ain't gonna hold you, baby.
My phone is about to die. Actually,
Now
it's
you
been a
start
day.
up because tomorrow night you on the full-blown war zone with me, Demetri K, and Donovan Sadiq. We gonna definitely bring some awareness to this shit with Trey. We gonna get this national exposure, and we gonna get some justice down here in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, y'all. I see y'all tomorrow, 7 o'clock on the War Zone. Same station. We stream live on Facebook, live on YouTube. I'ma holler at y'all. Say, man, I'm the monster that they ain't never saw in their life. I'm America's worst nightmare. I'm an educated black man. You sure you want to fuck with me? Because by the time I'm finished, it'll be a whole bunch of elected officials taking their ass to Angola. You better fix this Trey shit, boy, or you finna get the business.